This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning this morning and welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk all day. It is Tuesday, the 30th of May, 2023, and you are on the clock with Erin Greene. On the clock, we engage organizations, institutions, social and cultural leaders, and ordinary people to better understand the impact of public policy, private sector development, and emerging social and consumer trends. On the clock, we have conversations that help us understand and navigate a rapidly changing Bahamas. Well, good morning, Bahamas, and welcome back from the Whit Monday holiday, a 3-day weekend, but hold on to your seats because we got a 3-day work week and then we got another 3-day weekend. I am loving it. I am loving it. I am loving it. I just want you all to know that every public holiday for the history of the Bahamas while I was alive, it rained on the public holiday. You all notice that? It rained on the public holiday. Plan accordingly. We need a Bahamian almanac.
It's actually a 1-day week. It's not a 3-day week because on the first day you're recovering from the weekend, and on the last day you're preparing for the weekend.
You're absolutely
so
right.
We have a 1-day week.
One full week, one full day of paying attention to the work week. I had a wonderful weekend. I had a job this weekend. As you know, I scour the bush for treasure. That's my primary job. And I was fortunate enough to go to someone's home to harvest scarlet plum for them. Ooh. And I just want to say that I saw the biggest scarlet plum in the world I ever saw. KB and Johnny Cake, we need a song. I mean, the biggest I've ever seen in my entire life. And I just want to say, wow. And thank you to the person who gave me an opportunity to pick scarlet plum from their tree. It's scarlet plum is a real treasure, and I just want to say to people, I think this is maybe a function or should be a function of the Horticultural Society. They should have a unit, maybe with BNT, to ensure that all contractors and people clearing land are aware that they have to check for protected trees before they clear them, but also that they need to check for rare and treasured trees and trees that are difficult to plant. See, a scarlet plum doesn't typically grow from seed. I think they do, but it would take, like, whatever the process is. It's like the civet coffee, where the the animal has to eat the beans and then poop them out for them to activate the necessary enzymes and elements within it. There's something special about scarlet plum. You can't plant it from seed. You have to get a cutting with fruit on it to be able to plant it. I realize that a lot of people are just cutting down scarlet plum trees without realizing how truly rare and valuable they are in this country.
So is it like a consultancy that helps you do this? Because how would you know which is rare? How would you know it's a rare tree?
But what I'm saying is, if you have the job of cutting down trees, you should make it your business to know what are rare and what are protected trees. That's what I'm getting at. Let's shift the culture. It's, I don't expect the government to have inspectors that can catch every job site before a rare or protected tree gets cut down, but there should be a space where those industry members can link into to check every day, has the list changed, right? Is there something I should be aware of? The onus should also be on that service provider to be aware of what they should be looking out for. It's a matter of national security. It's a matter of cultural preservation. It's more than just money. It's more than just money.
But I know when people would clear, they just put the backhoe in and boom. And, they keep some of the big trees.
Yeah, in fact, it's I wonder if the lack of clarity in that space is due to a thing, and that thing is this. For decades, this little scam, I'm going to call it a scam, because I think that's what it is, a scam has been taking place in the Bahamas where you, the home or property owner, will pay a contractor to come in and clear the land.
Mm-hmm.
And the contractor will say to you, Miss, it's going to cost an arm and a leg for me to take this rock out of your yard so you can put down grass and you can build your house. And then the contractor will go and take that rock and sell it to somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not realizing how valuable that rock truly is. The homeowner, the person doing the buying and selling, he
knows. You're going to need an inspector because there's no incentive because it's cost, right? You're going to need an inspector just like somebody's going to, walk on a building inspector is going to say, okay, you pass this phase, you go to the next phase. Almost right at the beginning, you almost needed somebody to go into the land and do that, right?
I mean, there's a process. I am almost certain it's outlined in law.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost certain. But there is a process.
Yeah. Okay.
And a lot of these gaps we see, there are actual inspectors provided for in law, maybe not in budget, but in law. And I think we just have a lot of people who are not doing their jobs. But before we get into that, Mark, I've got $100 giveaways, and I got a special giveaway today. Let's get to the $100 giveaways today, and then I'm going to tell you about the Hannah Hasty Times Family South giveaway. So we're giving away 4 tickets, 4 prizes. We're giving away 4 prizes today. We're giving away 2 $100 prizes every day for the next 4 months. We will be giving away $100 to digital wallet holders. Every day, 2 winners will receive $30 in $100. To be eligible to win, you must have a digital wallet and answer the trivia question correctly. When you call in, give the producer your name and number. If you answer the question correctly, you will be transferred back to the producer. Give the producer your digital wallet address. Your digital wallet address to transfer the funds to your digital wallet. You can only win once, only one transfer to a digital wallet for the duration of the competition. Now, for the first week of the competition, what we did was we allowed people who did not enable their digital wallets to play. It's taken us a time to get those people onboarded. And so I will, before the end of this week, confirm those people who have been onboarded by various digital wallet service providers, and then we will complete and confirm the transfer process. This competition at this point, is for people who have digital wallets already opened. I'm hoping that the central bank sees your eagerness to become a part of this new shift and will provide the platform so we can take on people who do not have digital wallets as of yet. But today, the competition is for digital wallet holders. Remember, I need your name, your number, your wallet address, and your digital wallet provider to be able to play in the game. Your name, your cell phone number, your wallet address, and your wallet provider to play. So I'm going to start with the first question. Today's questions are by telephone only. Today's questions are by telephone only. I tell you why, because only 2 of the texters provided all of the information necessary to win the prize. Although those who won, they still are going to get their prize. So here is the first question of the day. What is the national tree and the national flower of the Bahamas? What is the national tree and the national flower of the Bahamas? That is the first question. Now, again, what is the national tree and the national flower of the Bahamas? You can call in at 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, or 242-300-5720. That's 242-300-5720. The text line is powered by BTC. That's 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Mark and Cecil. I was supposed to have members of the Hannah Hasty Tynes Family Association joining us this morning so we could have a talk about family trees, family histories, family associations, the Hannah Hasty Tynes family, their origins and how they are connected. And I was supposed to have beloved Aunt Iris Tynes, Hannah Hasty Tynes family historian, on the show this morning. She is unable to make it. I think she have a scarlet plum hangover like me. It's sweet sometimes. It is very, very sweet sometimes.
Have you ever been to Acklands?
No, not yet, Mark. I haven't been yet.
Me neither. That's a long. But that's where those families come from originally.
Well,
right?
Well, this is one of the things I wanted to confirm today, because I always believed that Acklands is the home, right? The beginning and the home. But it may not be so. Just like we all think that New Providence is always the center, always the capital of the Bahamas, the capital shifted.
It was Dunmore Town, right?
Yeah, it was.
Time, yeah.
And it moved a number of different spots in the southern islands, and as trade dominance shifted, the capital, I think, of New Providence shifted, along with a realization that New Providence may be the safest space for the centralization of government, all right, and resources, because of how it is protected by the archipelagic exterior. I'm very disappointed that Miss Iris Tynes couldn't join us this morning. There's lots of questions I wanted to ask. The most important of all is why they couldn't find Jerry Roca in town. Now, my thought is that you cannot be a senator in the House of Assembly unless you know who Jerry Roca is and why they couldn't find him in town. I think we have forgotten what the function of the Senate is and what its purpose is. And its purpose, these people are supposed to act as elder statesmen. They're supposed to be able to provide another intersection to the reasoning, right, of the passage of laws and bills. And they're supposed to bring a historic perspective. Like, I know what happened the last time we tried to do this. I have a degree of context, a degree of knowledge, a degree of historic or cultural insight that makes me an expert citizen, in a sense. The Senate is not for newbies or neophytes. It's supposed to be for senior man and women them. All heads, people who have a degree of experience in governance or public leadership. And so I figure you ain't supposed to be in the Senate unless you know who Jerry Roca is and why we can't find him in town. But it turns out that people ain't talking. Our older Bahamians are not sharing these stories. And I think it's important for us to share the stories. Sometimes, let me see, producer, I got calls coming in to answer the question.
It lit up.
Yeah, I know, but I still need my producer to confirm with me. He's on the phone. 1 second. Right, and so, Mark, I think these things are important. They won't share it with us. There's plenty of stories. I still want to know what Don't Mind Livingston Josiah's the JP means. I think it's very important. But more important than that is understanding the importance of transferring knowledge. Right? Last week I got a heavy critique that I think somebody misheard the show and suggested that we were in some way trivializing or making fun of Kevin Carey, the young man who was still missing, because we were actually questioning the function of the Marco alert system. And I postured without confirmation that perhaps they use this system that's intended for minors on an adult because the adult is special needs or has intellectual disabilities. We got a little heavy critique. I think people didn't understand what we were saying, but I will repeat it and affirm it. Sometimes you have to share information that you're not comfortable with to support, propel, right? Or make effective the investigation that you're engaged in. And then shift this back to the globe, the wider collective context. We need to tell the stories to Bahamians and to younger Bahamians. There is a thin line that we always wrestle with. What is not for the public and what is necessary for the public good, right?
So are you talking like a biography?
Well, I'm talking.
Almost like
I'm talking the national stories, the experiences of Bahamians that we need to know, because those experiences are integral in the development of the country.
Because speaking of Acklands, Clifford Darling, he was from Acklands, right?
Yes.
And I read his book. It was very moving.
Absolutely.
Moving book.
Absolutely.
But I don't see it much on bookshelves or things, but it really is sort of really chronicles that struggle of his and where he started and where he ended. And I thought that was a great book.
Absolutely.
Very inspiring.
Yes, absolutely. Producer, we got a caller on the line for the trivia. Good morning, caller. You are on the clock. Before we start, let me confirm with you. You gave the producer your name, your cell phone number, your wallet address, and your wallet provider?
Yeah.
Awesome. You have the answers to the questions. What is the national tree and the national flower of the Bahamas? Please say coconut. Okay, don't say coconut. Sorry, answer the question.
The national tree is the lignum vitae.
Yes, ma'am.
And the flower is the yellow elder.
Awesome. Thank you very much. You are our first winner for the day. And just go back to the producer for me, and let's just confirm we got all the correct information. Thank you so much. We will be transferring your money shortly to you.
So
Not short, though. It'll be the right amount.
The right amount.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Did you know I looked into yellow elder and it actually has medicinal benefits? Did you know that?
Yep.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't. Well, you know how people are nervous and anxious? It's actually really good for nervous disorders, anxiety, and it also is good for inflammation.
Absolutely.
So if you get a bruise,
Yes.
and purification of blood. I was shocked.
Right?
I thought it was just a pretty little flower, right?
Most of the things that we're looking at are...
And fever. If you make a tea out of
Yeah.
it, it actually reduces fever symptoms.
That's awesome. Most of the things, the flora around us, have a medicinal or therapeutic purpose. We're just not aware of them yet. This is another part of this conversation, why it's important to transfer knowledge to younger generations of people. The first step is they will only be or can only be as excited about it as you are. That's the baseline, and we need to know what these things are so that we can preserve them also in the future. All right, second question, Mr. Nuri, Mr. Palmer. Second question for the Sand Dollar giveaway. Second question for the Sand Dollar giveaway. Are we ready, Bahamas? What are the national animals of the Bahamas? What are the national animals of the Bahamas? I'm not accepting mosquito, sandfly, or Dr. Fly as an answer.
What about Chicani?
Chicani? I thought you were saying Sakani. Good morning, my brother Sakani Nash in Exuma Keys. How you doing, brethren? How you doing? You mean Chichani?
Chichani, yeah.
Yeah. It turns out that we may share Chichani folklore. We may share the Chichani throughout the archipelago, a wider archipelago than the Bahamas, the chain going up to Florida, right? Because I learned recently that Seminole is a word that means enslave, like runaway slave.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
It's to be challenged, right? This is what I learned. It means runaway slave. And they're suggesting that this tribe that we call the Seminoles is a collection of indigenous peoples, right? Some of which are dark skin, some of which are not dark skin, and enslaved people from Africans. It's a collection of those peoples who would have run away or escaped enslavement.
But the Seminole tribes, that's why I like read all the time. The Seminole tribe is actually an offshoot of the Cherokee tribe. So when the Cherokee tribe broke up, those persons who left started the Seminole tribes in Florida. So I could hear the freedom or or run away because they run away from their original tribe when they was putting them onto the reservations. So that narrative can come up. In terms of black Seminoles is actually Africans who escape from slavery and join into these Aboriginal tribes. But anyway,
No, we can have a wonderful.
Sorry,
I love it.
Yeah.
Not right now. We can have a wonderful discussion about this because there are indigenous people in the United States now who are dark skinned like me,
Yes.
and some like you, and they tell you, my people always been here.
Yeah.
I know the people who came over on the boat, and we can make a distinction between us and them. It's a fascinating space. But I also acknowledge that you are at the table, the historian.
I agree.
As the group of this morning.
But the Cherokees came here right after the United States bought Florida from Spain. A lot of the Cherokees left at that point, and I understood that some of them did migrate their way down.
Yeah. There's an
To the
extensive
Bahamas.
saltwater railroad, right, that travels south as opposed to north, up into Canada and the upper states. All right, producer,
Now, isn't there a guinea pig? There's like a mammal that you could find in parts of the Bahamas.
Hutia.
Hutia, right. You ever seen one?
Yeah, when I was younger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually
it tastes good
exists.
though. You need to taste a
Oh,
hutia.
it tastes good?
Yeah,
All right.
man.
Are you allowed to eat
who are y'all talking about? Who are y'all talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about
We're not
hutia.
eating any
Yeah,
hutia.
I just said
All
it.
right, we got a caller, second caller, producer. Good morning, second caller. You are on the clock.
With potatoes.
carrots? Roast
Everybody in the
potatoes.
studio and to you, Erin.
Yes, sir. You have the
You know,
answer.
it's funny.
Are you answering the question? No, you don't have to.
Could you repeat it again, please?
No, you don't have to. Continue with your commentary.
Well, I would like to answer it if I could.
Okay, the question is, what are the national animals of the Bahamas?
I think I better move on because I could be cynical. I would say pot cake.
There you go. That's not the correct answer.
I'm only kidding. But hey, Erin,
Yeah.
how you end up with Seminole, right? And you say it had to do with runaway slaves?
Yes.
What did you say about the Seminole? Yes. So, and then you said
You want me to
Cherokee.
repeat? You want me to repeat what I said?
Yes, because I want to add
Okay,
to
so
it.
what I'm saying is that there is a lot of discourse, academic and otherwise, coming from spaces occupied by indigenous Americans, right? Some of those indigenous Americans are very dark-skinned people. And what they put on the table is that there's been a informing, a misconception, and some even say a deliberate attempt to thwart history. And that when the Europeans came into this side of the world, that they already met dark-skinned people here, because Africans had been traveling across the Atlantic for hundreds of years, and certainly years before the Europeans had, right? And so these indigenous people say that they are being mistaken for the descendants of people brought over in the transatlantic slave trade, but they've always been in the Americas. And I'd said to Cecil that we're going to have a whole show about it at another time, because that's not really what we're talking about today.
Yeah. Well, you may be onto something. And the Vikings also came across way before those people.
From Lower Europe.
Yes, but it is what it is. I wanted to talk to you about how did we end up with a name, Cherokee in Abaco.
Well, I think it's the same thing I'm talking about right now, Graham. It's the people use this saltwater railroad to travel south, right? But not just that. This whole concept of nationality is paramount. In 2023, you would think that a passport and a border always ruled the world. But if we look back in history, people treated migration differently. And so it was like nothing. The young people say it's like nothing, right, for people to move back and forth through these islands, the American South, Florida, what we call Key West, the Keys, Texas, Panhandle, all that area. I imagine it would have been just as easy for people to move back and forth. So these boundaries that we attempt to use to reason or reckon with history are irrelevant in the
Well,
times that we're looking at.
To build on your case, most of Miami Garden, that's Bahamian. And if you go into Keys, they had people that migrated, they call conch. And that was from Abaco.
Yes, Graham.
Many Abaco people. See, these people want to do something now for maybe financial benefit or for some other mysterious reason. Let me be nice. But if you look, most of our family is in America because whatever tribe and whatever mix that tribe was moved between here and the U.S. And most recently in the 80s and 70s and 80s and not 90s, but 80s for sure, Bimini was Miami-Dade East. We would go from Bimini for a KFC in Miami because we had a lot of money during the 80s, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And we'd be airlifted to Miami to have our baby.
Yes, sir. But Graham, I got to go. I'm so sorry.
Man. We should have a show on this.
I mean, that's what I just told Cecil. We got to have a show on it.
Yeah.
Thank you so
All right.
much, Graham.
Take care.
You know, the situation is also similar to what's happening between the Bahamas and Haiti, right? In 2023, we are ruled by nationality politics and passports and borders. We're trying to use that to understand the development of Haiti. But we're looking at periods of time where these constructs are irrelevant. In fact, it is perhaps these constructs being forced upon the existing systems, right, of governance and culture and living that have caused the disruption in Haiti and the region. But listen, I got to get to the call because I got this question and two more questions for today's show. Good morning, caller. You're on the clock. Are you here to answer the second Sand Dollar trivia question?
Yes, I'm here to answer it. I'm going to say the flamingo as the national bird, the blue marlin, national fish, and if you want a third one, I'll throw in the conch.
I love it. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Bonus question. There's no prize, but just bonus question. Can you name one other type of conch species? One other type
of conch species?
Yeah, like, because queen conch is only one.
Okay, other than the queen conch?
Yeah.
I'm thinking here.
Just say the Erin conch. Say the Erin conch.
The Erin conch.
Yes, ma'am. Listen, thank you so much for playing the game show today. You've given your information to the producer, your name, your cell phone number, your digital wallet address, and your digital wallet provider?
Yes, I have. Oh, and there's also another conch called the milk conch.
Oh, why, thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am. Have a great day, and thank you for playing along.
All right.
Absolutely. There's also what we call the screw conch or the spicy conch. And there's the king conch. We got a queen conch and we got a king conch as well. And you know, our queen conch is at the risk of depletion for one simple reason. It's not overfishing. I mean, it is technically overfishing, but here's what the reason is. It's because the older folks then would not pass down the proper techniques for making tough conch tender in your pot. If people knew how to properly handle and prepare the variety of conch species and old conch, then we wouldn't be overfishing, overharvesting the queen conch, right? We love the queen conch because it's the tenderest, the most tenderest of the conchs. But if we knew how to put a conch in a pressure cooker, if we knew how to scald the conch, if we knew these techniques, then we wouldn't be over-harvesting the queen conch because we got to have conch in our mouth, even though we don't know how to cook it. And I got a text here, dear texter, I'm sorry that you were unable to get in on the line. I'm going to see what I can do. I cannot promise anything, especially not in the middle of the show. Producer, let's go to a break, and when we come back from the break, I want to ask all the questions I don't get to ask on Iris today, and I want to give away. We have a generous donation of 2 tickets from Mr. Stephen Hanna, our Guardian Radio family member and HHT family member, and I want to give out 2 tickets to the Hannah Hasty Times family South today. And then maybe I could encourage a HHT family member to call in and tell me why we can't find Jerry Roca in town. That's not the most important thing. What I really want to know is, what are the origins of the Hannah, Hasty, and Tynes families in the Bahamas, in the New World? How are the Hannahs, Hasties, and Tynes related? What other families are related to HHT? What islands and countries can you find HHT family? What are some famous and noteworthy HHT family members? Without a doubt. So, guys, we're going to a break. Producer, take us to a break. And when we get back, we're going to dive right into that conversation. You're on the clock with Erin Greene. You guys stay tuned to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk all day.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The new Guardian Radio app is here. Listen live to all our Guardian Radio shows and live video stream select programs in our studio. Get information about Guardian Radio shows and our hosts. Send messages including text, email, and even call. All from our amazing new Guardian Radio app. Download it free today in your App Store for your Apple device or Play Store for your Android device. The all-new and improved Guardian Radio app.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk all day. I got two more giveaways for you, and I got two more questions for you, and they are all HHT related, and you have an opportunity to win a South Out ticket for the Hannah Hasty Tynes Family South Out. It's being held this Labor Day, Friday the 2nd of June, from 8 a.m. to 12 noon at Frankie Gone Bananas at Arawaki. They're serving sheep tongue sauce at $15 a container, rib sauce, chicken sauce, turkey sauce, and pig feet sauce at $12 a container. And that little Scarlet Plum adventure I was on, it was for the HHT Family South Out. There'll be Scarlet Plum lemonade, mango passion fruit lemonade, fever grass tea, and starfruit tea, plus a number of other goodies available on Labor Day. That's Friday the 2nd of June. Producer, I see we have a caller on the line. Were they calling for the giveaways? Okay. I see we have another caller on the line. So let me throw out the first question. The first question for the Hannah Hasty Tynes Family South Out on Labor Day. What is the former name of Long Key? What is the former name of Long Key? What is the former name of Long Key? Producer, also do me a favor, turn on the Zoom. Turn on the Zoom link for me, please. I have a guest in from the Hannah Hasty Tynes, recently elected executive committee, and she is going to be joining us as soon as we get the Zoom room up and running. So the first question is, what is the former name of Long Key? Also, producer, when you get off the phone, can you adjust the volume, please? I've got a text to call in, texting all the way from St. Louis, saying that St. Louis, my apologies, that it's too loud and it cuts out whenever we're speaking too strongly. Thank you very much, producer. So we got a call on the line to answer the first question, producer? Yes? All right, good morning, caller. You're on the clock. Can you turn down your radio, please?
Oh, hello?
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Yes, I'm the person who won previously. I was just still waiting on the line.
Okay, 1 second. Producer, this is the person who won previously. Can you just confirm their details for them and send the second caller through, please? Zoom room is up yet? Okay, we're coming with the Zoom room. Thank you, caller. He's going to get to you in a second.
All right, thank you.
All right. I've got a text for the first winner of the South ticket. I've got a text for the first winner of the South ticket. The answer is... Oh, that's not the... that is so close. But I don't know if that's the correct answer. You were so close, texter. But I don't know if island, is this a part of it, is the correct answer. Producer, you want to put that second call through for me, please? What is the former name of Long Key? What is the former name of Long Key? Just checking with my in-studio historian.
Can we have a clue? Where is it? Where is it in the Bahamas?
Your clue was we giving away a hasty Hanatine South ticket.
Ooh,
all right, I've got the text here. The correct answer is Fortune Key. The former name of Long Key is Fortune Key. Fortune Key. Now I'm sending out the second question.
You know any significance of Fortune Key?
I think that is the beginning, eh?
No, that's where they claim the pirates left all the treasure in the caves.
I was going to tell that.
Oh, right. I didn't know he was going to have that as a question.
No, not that it was a question. That I just started the show by telling you my job is going in the bush and looking for treasures.
Yeah, I was trying to say that's where the cave was.
Now you tried to say, you told everybody that's where the cave was.
We're supposed to have some property in Fortune Key.
So just remember now, you have to give 10%, right?
I can imagine.
10% to the government.
To whom?
The government.
To the government.
Once you find
whom?
it.
That was recent.
Of Long Key?
No, recent.
I'll give it to the government of Long Key.
But Long Key is the most organized island in the Bahamas. It's very planned out.
Yeah.
But no one lives there anymore. So, yeah. I remember when I say nobody, it's like only about 2 families, 3 families or some sort. Now there.
They're cousins. Look
Yeah.
how I coming back to Long
I need to go clean those Nuri
Look how I
land.
coming back to Long Key. Okay, producer, be ready for the next caller. Oh, wait, let me ask the question. Long Key, Acklins, and Crooked Island form an atoll around what body of water? Long Key, Acklins, and Crooked Island form an atoll around what body of water? This is the second question of the day. What Long Key, Acklins, and Crooked Island form an atoll around what body of water? Producer, is the Zoom room up? Cecil, could you go check and see if the Zoom room is up, please? I got a guess. In fact, I have the chairman of the newly elected Hannah Hasty Tynes Family Committee joining us today via Zoom so we could talk a bit about the South and the, I don't want to say revitalization, but to tell us we just had a recent election and we are going to share the names of the new executive board of the Hannah Hasty Tynes Family Association.
Because what would be interesting to know is where, the origin of that name, because it's clearly English, right? Acklin, it would have been an English, somewhere from England, right? So.
Wow, I'm not sure, but possibly.
So that would be an interesting question, because
yes,
I know there were Acklins in Devon.
Yes.
Which is in the west coast of England. So, You know how people name things
Yeah.
after their homelands? You know, like New Caledonia was
absolutely.
New Scotland.
Absolutely. I think our Zoom room is opened up. Good morning, Miss Hannah Sweeting. How are you?
Good morning, Erin. Good morning, Bahamas. How are you today?
I am good, thank you. I'm good, thank you. Thank you for joining me this morning. And I guess I will let you. Introduce the names, or tell us the names of the members of the recently elected Hannah-Hasty Tynes Family Association Committee.
Thank you again, Erin, for allowing us this few moments on your show today. I'm very excited. I know Aunt Iris, if she was able, she would have been with us, but she is our designated historian by one of those Baptists by fire.
Yes.
She's baptized by fire type historian. She has a wealth of knowledge on this family, and listen, she's up there in age, but we're going to pump her dry. Everything that she knows about this family. She's been my aunt for too many years. From a little girl, so that she would say that she knew me from when I was in the womb. So I am very grateful to us. And I am grateful to the Hannah-Hasty Tynes family for allowing me to lead this organization for the next year or so. And I am especially pleased to have the dynamic set of officers with me, and dynamic to a point that we have lawyers, we don't have a doctor, we have some Indian chiefs, we have some accountants, engineers, and that just shows us how dynamic our family makeup is. There is no perfection in this world that we don't own. And I apologize as I came a bit distracted, but I'm standing outside the church of a family member who is being today, Mr. Devard Williams. And we'd like to send our condolences once again to our family members who died very suddenly and at a very fine age. So keep the family in prayer today, because it's not easy for his children and his siblings. But my officers, should I start with my vice president?
Oh, sure.
My vice president is none other than a young lady that I have known the name of. I've met once or twice before, but not met them as a family member, but just met as a person. And it was so exciting to see her come out to the meeting. And then even more exciting to know that she stood up and accepted the nomination of being vice president. And she is none other than our very own Erin Greene.
Well,
Erin, I'm going to thank you very publicly now for taking up that mantle alongside me to lead this family for the next couple of years or so.
Yes.
And to see just how we can infuse all this family history and this family love and this family togetherness. You know, one of the things that we say as a family is that our name change, especially as young children. You know, I went from Hannah to Phoebe, and if we don't teach our children who their heritage is, then it will be lost, you know.
Yes.
We have seen in the Bahamas before, and still going on, where you find cousins marrying each other or having children with each other, and not until, and some I think still don't know that they are related.
Yes.
And moving on, treasurer is Mr. Stephen Hannah. He's retired, which makes it even awesome because there's just a little bit more time where we can, we need to take our own time as we die, people that put it that way. And he is a man of all seasons. He has been my driver. He's been the whisper in my ear in the back alongside me, you know, that tells me whether he thinks I'm doing a good job or I should pivot or whatever it is. With them, this association is not about me. I only sit at the helm as the leader, but I want everybody to know that it's everybody, not just executives. When we put continue.
Yes.
And the assistant treasurer is Alberta Bartlett, Alberta Williams Bartlett.
Yes.
She is a lawyer, and she has spared us and will help us to get some things finalized, things in our association, logos, bylaws, all those nice things that we need to have as a non-profit organization. And then our secretary is Chinwe Ejuma. She is an engineer by profession. She's very, she's a go-getter. She has more energy than Energizer Bunny.
Yes.
But I'm appreciative of her. She's run from the background. And she's pushing the ticket for our South as well as all of our executives are doing. Our assistant secretary is Miss Mona Burrows Knowles.
Yes.
She also is a retiree. So I'm telling you, we got some time on our hands that we're going to use for this association.
Absolutely. Let me repeat the names of the members for the listening audience.
Okay.
Our new chairman is yourself, Mrs. Tira Hannah Sweeting. Vice chair, myself, Erin Greene. Secretary, Chinwe Ejuma, fellow QC Comet. Treasurer and faithful and loyal committee member.
Hey. Hold it. You can put a pin in
Producer,
the comments. You can call it giant too. I'm a green giant. Now don't go there today, Aaron.
Sorry. You was talking, you was rowing me. That's my bad.
Yeah. But guess what? Yes. I was the comment first and then transferred to the giant, so I can hold two hats right now.
Absolutely, boy. That's a good Hannah hasty times rowing, eh? And it's sorry about that, producer. I was passing it along. Alberta Bartlett, assistant treasurer. Mona Knowles, assistant secretary. Reinhard Pearson, chaplain. Esther Hannah Culmer, advisor. And Iris Tynes, advisor. And Barbara Hannah Pierre, advisor. Okay, producer, please unmute Zoom for me, please.
I muted myself.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Producer, unmute Zoom for me, please.
Sorry.
No,
okay. So, along with those executive members, you have four very special persons who sit alongside us as executives. And these are our senior advisors, law advisors. And these persons have been intricately involved in the Hannah Association from its inception in 1982.
Yes.
1982 was the first year that we held family reunion here in Bahamas. We had which would have been, I think it was the Holiday Inn on Paradise Island. I think that was the name of it there. And the person who sat at the helm at that time was none other than Mrs. Barbara Pierre, who was the chairperson of the association as well as the chairperson of the family reunion. And so she, there, some time back, she, along with others, was designated advisors for life. And so I am very grateful that we have her at a tender age. I'm going to be, I hope she don't get mad if you tell her age, but she tells it to me. So, but at her tender age, I think she's going to be 91 in short order. And alongside her is Miss Iris Tynes, as well as one of our advisors for life, Miss Esther Hannah Culmer, is the other advisor for life. And last but definitely not least, our chaplain and advisor for life is Mr. Reinhard Hesser. And so the dynamic crew of this new leadership of the Hannah Hasty Times, we humbly come before them, our people, and the Bahamas to serve them in the best way that we think will live up to our Hannah Hasty Times.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tira Hannah Sweeting. Producer, we got a call on the line for the last question of the day. Oh man, I guess I'm going to have to give away the second Hannah Hasty Times South Out ticket on tomorrow's show as we talk about Labor Day. And hopefully I'm going to find some names so we can get some of these Hannah Hasty Times names that were integral in the labor movement on the airwaves tomorrow. Ms. Tara Hannah Sweeting, I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. I also want to share condolences with the family on the passing of Rod Williams. And I appreciate you joining us from right outside the service this morning. I want to thank my Sand Dollar callers and winners. Thank you so much for playing along. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow for your opportunity to win a Hannah Hasty Times Family South Out ticket for our South Out on Labor Day, Friday the 2nd of June at Frankie Gone Bananas on Arawaki. Thank you so much, Miss Hannah Sweeting. Producer, we'd have
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Do you have any calls on the line? Yes, let's go to the last caller quickly. Good morning. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. Producer, let's go to the next call. Very quickly. Good morning, caller. Are you there? Okay, I'm so sorry that we missed you all. Thank you for tuning into the show today. Again, Sand Dollar winners, stay tuned for more information via your cell phone. Hannah Hasty Times ticket winner, thank you for playing along. We're going to give away another ticket tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Mark Palmer. Thank you, Mr. C.A. Newry, for joining me this morning. One day soon, we're going to find out who Jerry Roca is and why they couldn't find him in town. Stay tuned. Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Newry is up next.